spirit of this, that I would please request that we all stand up for a 1-minute silence for all those who have passed. Can we please all be standing? Give a 1-minute silence in respect of those who have passed on. May their souls continue to rest in perfect peace. This indeed wonderful, wonderful reunion. I can see my brother here, Right Honorable Tambol. I can see my brother, Honorable Igedioja. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll continue with the program, and we are now going to have goodwill messages. If you take a quick census in all today, you'll find that we have only about 3 or 2% of women. So let's start with the women. Let's hear what the goodwill message that we'll get from them. We'd like to start from the non-state actors. What do they think about this assemblage today? I'd like to invite my sister, my wife, Ajia Sadatumadi from Rapa. Shall we please welcome her? She will kick off the goodwill messages. And please, I would want your attention. The protocol has been established. This is when you come to the microphone, just go to your text. Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Honorable members, good afternoon, honorable members. It is with great humility that I am here representing the women's constituency of Nigeria, the women's movement of Nigeria, the non-governmental organizations who do recognize and support the former majority leader of the House of Representatives, Honorable Mulikat Adiola Akonde. We see today as another mark of who she is and how she became the first female House leader in Nigeria. We see it also as a testimony of the prowess she brings to any gathering she is a member of. I don't know if you have the opportunity to meet each other at the weddings of your children, at the funerals of your colleagues, at the turbaning of your colleagues, but to have a free reign. I see your gathering here as if it is that of former schoolmates. When you meet, you remember the naughty moments, you remember the hard moments, and then you remember the sad days of departure. But the call from Honorable Mulikat says there is no exit in leadership, especially when you represented the people of your constituency and when you supported the growth of our democracy from 1999 to date. I want to use this opportunity to first of all congratulate you, Honorable Mulikat, on behalf of Nigerian women. We believe in you, we have stood by you, and we remain with you any day, any time. Please call us and we are at your beck and call, inshallah. To the men who supported Mulikat Adiola to become the first female majority leader in our democracy, we want to say thank you, and we resonate this gratitude every day because it didn't happen afterwards. We also want to put on record, particularly for the Speaker of the Assembly, during which she served as House Leader. I heard his name. I think he's in the room. Is he in the room? Honorable Aminu Bello Tambwal. Is he in the room? Yes. Now, a distinguished senator in Rekoni, a former governor in Rekoni, and again a senator. No, he started out as a governor and then a senator. Honorable Aminu Tambwal, I will call you, I don't want to call you Your Excellency, I don't want to call you Senator, because we are here as in your service as an honorable member. Honor is due to whom it is due. We thank you for being the gentleman you were. We know what happened, and we know how it came. But we want to put on record our appreciation for your recognition of your sister's capacity and also your support throughout her tenure. To serving members, we appeal to you. We have 5 gender bills that are hanging, which would have produced more Mulukat Adiolas that are waiting. Please use the influence of your new platform to your serving colleagues to say there is wisdom in including women, to say there is also a reservoir of resources in Nigerian women. They don't have to come to the National Assembly. The political parties to which you all belong can make a difference by ensuring that, starting from the local government, women are included, women have a voice in your parties, and that they can make the difference in their constituencies. Having said that, I want to conclude by thanking Honorable Mulukat Adiola and thanking all of you. Seeing you tells me that democracy can thrive and will continue to thrive. But there are booby traps, and we want you as a constituency to support yourselves and support any government that comes to tap into your knowledge and experience and move this country forward. May the Almighty Allah reward her for this thought, reward you for coming, and Nigerian women are looking at what influence you can bring to bear on the current 10th Assembly so that those 5 gender bills will pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. My wife and whom I'm so pleased. We thank you very much. Quickly, every speaker, except those that I cannot harass in any way, which I don't intend to do, will please speak for a maximum of 2 minutes thereabout. I'd like also quickly to call on Dr. Husaini Abdul, who is the Country Director of CARE International. Yes, please. So please. Shall we welcome him, please? Wow. 2 minutes. From now.
I'll do one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable former members and still, I don't know if they are current members here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I will start by strongly associating myself with what Hajia Sodetu Mahdi has expressed here. I deeply associate myself with that. Believing strongly from where we stand as civil society and development agencies, our commitment and national assembly. And we believe when these issues, we believe we can make tremendous influence on conversations. And our call is that we hope this gathering in this conversation could help in strengthening our national, also ensuring that policies are enacted that serve the interest of the majority. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Wow. We have more presiding officers coming in. At this moment, I'd like to bring to our attention several more presiding officers coming into the hall. And and you can see the kind of handshakes and smiles. I wish that we can broadcast this all over the country so that Nigerians can learn from this and we can move on as one strong, united nation. On behalf of all the presiding officers here, I'd like to invite the former Speaker, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, who I hear there's a consensus about him speaking on behalf of every presiding officer. May I please ask my colleagues to please move your camera in such a way that we can see them. I want to see who and who is here. But on your behalf, honorable members, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara to speak on behalf of all officers. Shall we please welcome him warmly to the microphone? He needs to tell us how he goes through challenges and crises without showing it at all. The grace of God is on you.
Your Excellencies, the Speaker of the Fifth Assembly and our leader, the Deputy Speaker, my leaders, my colleagues, distinguished press, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'll plead with us, please, to lend me your ears. Oh, I was never built to speak. Leader, His Excellency, Right Honorable Tambuwal, he was for us. He is my leader in the National Assembly and at the bar. When we were arguing forward for the former presiding officers, he did say to me that I'm directing you to go and speak on our behalf. And immediately I remember that the speaker of what he was my speaker. And having directed as my speaker, I no hesitation here. And so I will urge us please to lend me your ears. I'll be very brief. And I will say something I believe that may be meaningful and helpful to our country. Now, first of all, let me commend the leader of the Assembly for deeming it fit and proper to organize this forum where former of representatives and even serving members can meet. It is something that I remember a lot that we should do, by single-handedly she devoted herself to bring all of us here. And since I walked in, while I've had my wicked sister say that it takes a woman, I don't want to say anything. I wouldn't respond to that before I'm under sexist. But for today, I may not. Honorable members, whether or not, we are parts of the elite. We haven't served at the level of the House of Representatives. It is said that what builds a nation is consensus, and what destroys a nation is elite complacency. Once you see a nation that the elites are pleasant. And the only way we can arrest this bad trajectory is for us to come here occasionally, meet with ourselves, as they say, iron sharpeneth iron, and then we can speak with one voice. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, the political system is organized in such a way. It's not an excuse for you to keep quiet. We should always speak out. For those of us who want to be role models, to be a role model entails two things. You must act worthy of your calling, and then you have to stand against wrong. And once you miss out on either of the two, you cannot be a role model. Now, I want to tell a very good story. Please listen to this story that I will tell. We travel out of the country. Most of our journey, say, okay, we can't go to hospital for some checkup. I travel. Please bear with me. I'll be fast with this story. I needed to see a dentist. And then we have a doctor that we have known, a specialist. He's from Spain. I put a call to him. I said, please, can you arrange for me to see a dentist here in London? And he did say to me, one of the consultants that I normally see was very busy. He couldn't schedule an appointment with him for me. And then he said, well, but he had a very good dentist that I could see. And I now said, okay, in view of the fact that I didn't have much days there, I'd love to see this dentist come back home. And so he gave me his number. I called him. To cut the long story short, by the time I got to his practice, it was a residential area. It means apartment building at the basement. The dental practice was at the basement of a residential building. So I called this Spanish doctor, Dr. Crispo. I hope you're okay. You sent me to a dentist who has his practice at the basement of an apartment building. And he did say to me, look, nothing is wrong. Just go meet him. Maybe you ask him about his story. So I said, well, there must be something special about this dentist. And so I went in there. And of course, by the time I get in there, I discovered that they were speaking Arabic. I started to know about him. And then he told me that, look, over 45 years, but I'm from, and in civil war in Syria, they bombed my hospital. My residential building was equally bombed. I lost my wife, lost my kids, lost my practice, lost everything that I've built for 45 years. And he said the only reason why I survived this bomb incident was because in the compound I was somewhere behind the building, a bit far, in a study, reading. While my kids were in the main room. And unfortunately, they didn't make it. And this man told me that one day I woke up and saw myself with a bowl in my hand, queuing for food in a refugee camp. Thankfully, he had a sister who came and worked it out for him to join their family in the UK. And for the very first time in his life, having lost everything, and then moving from a refugee camp, he found himself living with a much younger sister that he brought up. And the practice he had, the dental practice he had, was courtesy of the British government, who had extended some loan to him for him to start afresh again after 45 years. You see, I'm saying this so that we know what elite complacency can cause a nation. Now, if elites such as us in Syria, in Libya, in Iraq, and in virtually all other nations that have suffered devastation, we are given a second opportunity, they will never be as complacent as we are. You see, the truth is that whatever God gives you, if you don't work hard to keep it, you will lose it. We have this nation to keep, and sometimes we have to forget about politics, because there will be Nigeria first. Before there's a Nigerian Senate, there's a Nigerian House of Representatives, there's a government house in any state, there's even the presidency and the vice presidency for us to aspire to. So I believe as we meet like this, we should reflect hard and long on the problems bedeviling our dear country. And honestly, whether it is a political party that is at the helm of affairs or not, as statesmen, as elites, as leaders in this land, if we see something going wrong, we should do something, we should say something, and let's offer everything within the ambit of our powers to see that those things are corrected. So it is said that power consists nothing without a fight. We are plenty. I believe that we don't even have a quarter of members that are assembled in this hall. You can see that I've been warned, it's my time, I've taken your time. Maybe in the process of our engagements, I may have the opportunity to say one or two things. But just reflect on the story I have said here. It is the truth, it is a reality of what our nation can become if we don't pull ourselves together in order to walk to salvation. So thank you all for listening to me. God bless us all.
Thank you very much. There are going to be 2 sessions. After this formal opening, there's going to be interactive session amongst members, after which it will just be members alone. And I'm sure that some of the issues that Right Honorable Yobara has spoken to thoroughly flashed. Honorable speakers, former presiding officers, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to the first thematic focus paper. And I'm so pleased that this first paper from health involves sound health. Sound health cannot, as a people, bring every health of Nigerians that are needed to move this country forward. I'd like to call out the first thematic focus paper, which is titled Taking Care of Ourselves for Effective Leadership. And the speaker, I want the applause to be very loud as she walks up here, is Dr. Susan Adams. Dr. Susan Adams. Please can we welcome her warmly. Dr. Susan Adams is a highly skilled and experienced lifestyle medicine professional with a passion for holistic wellness and transformational impact on human health. She holds various degrees from distinguished institutions of higher learning like Harvard Medical School, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, Long Island University,
University of Washington. Dr. Adams established the first registered integrative medicine center in Abuja, pioneered Nigeria's first diabetes specialist center and integrative green hospital pharmacy, and is the recipient of numerous awards, including the African Women in Leadership Award of Excellence as the Phenomenal Woman of the Year 2021. Renowned wellness consultant, motivational speaker, and author, she is dedicated to inspiring and educating others on the benefits of a holistic approach to health and wellness. Dr. Susan Adams is the founder and chief executive of Dr. Physique Global Health and Wellness Limited. We are lucky to have her with us today, and she has set up a mini medical center behind us where you can check your BP and also check your sugar level before you leave the hall. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on your behalf, I'd like to welcome Dr. Susan Adams. Please, let's welcome her very, very warmly. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I will stand on it. Is it morning or afternoon? It's afternoon. Good afternoon, distinguished excellencies. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Actually, it's actually with, would I say, a happiness or a heavy heart that I stand before you, and I'll share why. But before I get into this, I think you should know a little bit about me and who is talking to you and why I'm here. I'm going to start by sharing my story, please. But just before I share my story, I promise you, you will not leave here the same way today. That's a promise. I want to share something that I read from Harvard Business Review, and it says this. Please listen to this very carefully. Great leaders are selfless. They are servant leaders who facilitate success of others. And I believe we have a room filled with leaders. It says, great leaders are selfless. And then continues to say that selflessness is a key characteristic of effective leader. The same Harvard Business Review also says that we need to cultivate selflessness as leaders to lead effectively. So what am I trying to say? As a selfless leader, what is the first thing you leave behind? Most of the times, in trying to make sure that those that God entrusted to us are doing well, we leave our health behind until it's too late. And unfortunately, the kind of health care that we are practicing in Nigeria here is you do not much, you go for checkups, but we wait until you're sick enough to be on lifelong medication, number one, admission, surgery, and even the mortuary. But I'm here to tell you that that is medicine of the past. I will repeat, just in case you missed it. In the past, the kind of medicine, how we are practicing medicine in Nigeria, my country, I actually am a Nigerian because I'm seeing it, is that we wait, we lead, we worry about others, we worry about our constituents, we worry about our family, and leave our health behind until it's bad enough to be on lifelong medication, surgery, admission, and maybe mortuary. And once again, I'm here to say that that is not the way to go, and I'm going to show you how to come out of that. So my story, I grew up in a house where my mother and father had 3 children, and they worked very hard. They were leaders. I'm not here to talk about where they led, but you know what? I saw them, they left behind their health. My mother will go from morning till night. She won't even drink water because she wants to make sure the children are okay. My dad will run and come back and may not even be able to eat before sleeping. So what happens? During about the age of 40, 50, thereabout, they were given their diagnosis. What is the diagnosis? Hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, enlarged prostate, arthritis, everything. It comes usually all at the same time. Why did it come? Because we were unable to give it enough attention in a preventive and in a proactive manner. But the good news is, and I'm going to get there, I had a really beautiful PowerPoint presentation to project, but they say there's no room or there's no facility for that. So it's unfortunate, but I'll try to describe my pictures. So after the diagnosis, my mom and dad, between the two of them, they were on between 16 to 20-something medications. They just kept taking medications, but they were not getting better. They were not getting better. And I was in the medical field, and I'm saying, what is out there that I can give to my parents so that they will not die and leave me? I grew up in the US as a child. I'm one of those that decided to come back to Nigeria to bring whatever I learned over there. So in the process of looking, I discovered that nature, what you do every single day at home, can actually heal your body. What you do every single day at home can actually reduce the number of medications that you're taking. I know that you may not believe, but by God's grace, we have a 7-year-old practice doing just this. So this is why Madam Moji called me today and said, Dr. Susan, come and speak to these people because they need their health to continue to lead and lead the nation. So I have a favorite quote, and I'm sure you've heard of this quote before. And the quote says, man sacrifices his health in order to make money. In this case, I would say in order to lead. Then he sacrifices the money to recuperate his health. That is by Dalai Lama. Now, why am I bringing that up? It's because today, the approach to healthcare in Nigeria, it's a little scary. And I feel like we need to know something new. And that's what I'm about to go into now. It's unfortunate you cannot see it, but I'll quickly read my slide. It's a short one. Okay. So how does WHO define health? Okay. So WHO says that health is a state of complete mental and social well-being. I want to tell you that that is just one part. I also want to tell you that the mere absence of sickness does not guarantee that you're well. The mere absence of sickness, like if you feel well, because what I see people do is that they feel well, they feel, oh, I already have a doctor. I already did my medical checkup. The doctor says I'm okay, and because of that, some people do absolutely nothing and then believe that the drugs, the admission, the surgery can get you there. It is not true again. how I wish you could see my slides. I wanted to talk about the body's ability to heal itself. And that is where I'm going to round off. So if you missed this part, you've missed my entire presentation. I'm going to talk about the body's innate ability to heal, because the body can actually heal and repair itself, and almost all of the medicine that you're either depending on or will ever depend on will actually fall off. Okay, so how does the body repair itself? What does that even mean? It means that when we were born, even till now, God has already put something in our body to help repair our bodies. So on daily basis, we have cellular death. Cells are dying in your body, and when the cells die so much, the tissues will start getting weak, the organs will start getting weak, and before you know it, you go to the hospital because your body is hurting. When you go to the hospital, the doctor will say, I will do a test. And then once the test result comes out, you're going to hear something like, you have hypertension. When you hear hypertension, it means what? You'll be on drugs for the rest of your life. Please, it is not true. You don't have to be on drugs for the rest of your life if you do your part with what I'm about to tell you. You will hear you have now diabetes. The doctor will say you have to be on medication for the rest of your life. Truthfully, you don't have to be on medication for the rest of your life, and even if you're on medication, it should be the least amount of medication. Same with high cholesterol, enlarged prostate, etc. So the question is, what do I need to do so that all these diseases and everything will easily fall out of my body? Okay, sorry, hello? I'm so sorry, but with all due respect, please, there are so many people that are trying to get one or two things. It's okay to talk, but please, I beg with respect, if you can tone it down a bit, because I am screaming. Sorry about that. Okay, so I want to summarize my slides by talking about what you can start doing today to start repairing your body. Okay? All right. So there's an acronym, okay, which in Dr. Physique we call it REOWN. Please, can you repeat after me? REOWN. REOWN. One last time. REOWN. Good. Okay. So it says, I REOWN my health. Okay. So I'm going to explain what those mean. Okay. REOWN. R stands for rest as medicine. Okay. Now, what is rest as medicine? Okay. You say, okay, I can't sleep. I gave up my sleep to be able to win election. I gave up my sleep to pass exam. I gave up my sleep. Well, unfortunately, you have to know that if you don't sleep, there's no way the BP is going to go. So we have to find a way to sleep. And there are ways to find a way to sleep. You can sleep by there's something called Epsom salt bath. There are teas that you can take. You must not be on medication before you can sleep. There are ways to reset your body to actually help you to sleep. But I think I just need you to know that if you don't rest, you will be rested. So that is one. The second one is O for oxygen. Oxygen as medicine. So what is oxygen as medicine? Deep breathing exercises. When you do deep breathing exercises, you can actually reduce your blood pressure. Okay, you can actually reduce your blood pressure with deep breathing exercises. And if you continue to do that, you can actually take fewer medication. All right, we'll talk about water as medicine. So for water as medicine, it's important to know that water is a complete medicine. And if you don't drink your water by mouth, you may have to take it by drip. Okay, so we also have exercise as medicine. Exercise is not because you're trying to bring down your BP or your sugar. It's a requirement to never ever be sick in the first place. And then, of course, we have detoxification, okay? So for detoxification, you can actually do it yourself at home by maybe drinking a lot of water, doing fasting, doing juicing, etc. All right, so I want to conclude my presentation by telling you just one or two things about the future of medicine. So what does the future of medicine look like? I want to tell you that the future of medicine is gone past malaria, taking drugs and everything. The future of medicine has to do with regenerative medicine, predictive medicine, and also regenerative medicine. So I want you to know that this medicine, this style of medicine, actually also exists and is present here in Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a nice reunion. And for those of you who picked up one or two things, I wish you very well, and we will be in the back if you have any question on how to totally repair your body and actually live a sickness-free and a drug-free life. Thank you so much.
Shall we please once again put our hands together for Dr. Susan? Please, may I beg that please, there are enough seats to go around. Can people please be seated? We are on live television. KAFTAN television is capturing this live. Please, may I beg, I know it's a reunion, but we can do it calmer and more quiet. Please, can you all be seated? May I plead that please, I beg. We are leaders and some of our children are watching. They are watching by television or live streaming. Please be seated. If we have any questions or clarification, I'll please beg that, I'll please plead that we can meet Dr. Susan at the back of the hall and her team. She has some remedies for us, 100% organic. If you are interested, please walk up there. You can also have your BP taken or your sugar level taken, and we'll have members of her team to share some papers around if you want to consult or see her. So we are on, we have said, we have spoken to health as the foundation of this reunion. We are going to move on now, and we are going to move on to the next paper that will be delivered. And please, I know this is very, very important to you. I'd like to call, while I read his bio, Barrister Adewale Adebayo, SDP Presidential Candidate 2023. He's going to be speaking to us as the keynote address giver, Deepening Democracy for a Resilient Nation. Let's know him. A little bit about him that I have here as he walks up to the podium. Prince Adewale Adebayo is a Nigerian leader and the presidential candidate of Social Democratic Party in the 2023 election. Prince Adewale Adebayo was born in Ondo City, Ondo State, January 8, 1972. Between 1973 and 1983, he has attended what he needs as a foundation. He also attended Obafemi Awolowo University, where he earned a law degree, graduating from the Nigerian Law School in 2000 and passing his bar exams. He later attended law school in the United States of America, where he passed the New York bar exam. He's a licensed practitioner, law practitioner of Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, California, New York, and the federal courts in the United States. Prince Adewale Adebayo began his legal career as a litigation officer. He has moved beyond being a lawyer to also being a broadcaster of repute. And today I think he deserves a very loud round of applause because KAFTAN television is giving us live coverage. He's a philanthropist, sponsors nearly 2,000 young persons into Nigerian and foreign tertiary institutions, in addition to always and has continued to financially empower Nigerians across the country. Prince Adewale Adebayo, we know, ran for the presidential election in 2023. I present to you, honorable members, a brilliant mind known for his deep insights on national issues, a prince, one that can be described as an accomplished Nigerian patriot. Please welcome most heartily Prince Barrister Adewale Adebayo.
Good afternoon, right honorable speakers, deputy speakers, generally the presiding officers, principal officers, ranking members, and honorable members of the Nigerian House of Representatives. It is a great privilege to stand before you today to address this gathering. You can continue your side deliberations because that is the parliamentary tradition. In Parliament, one person doesn't talk and the rest just keep watching. There will be caucusing, other things being done by the side. So for the most part, we only speak to the record. Today is a very special day, and it is not a cliche. The greatest ambition of any politician is to be president of a country like Nigeria, and the greatest honor of a president is to address the parliament. So any person who has an opportunity, who is not a member of the House of Representatives, who is allowed to speak to any parliamentary gathering, is being given a rare honor that should be respected. So I thank you all for the opportunity. But today is even more important because the topic regards how to deepen democracy for a resilient nation. And this was why the House of Representatives was set up at the beginning of Nigeria's sovereign existence. All the agitations in Nigeria, from the time that Abba Macaulay complained about the Clifford Constitution in 1922, to the complaints regarding the Richards Constitution in 1946, which was a meeting that brought together for the first time Abba Macaulay, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Shehu Shagari, among others, to agitate that the Richards Constitution was not good enough. The same thing for the Milverton Constitution and Littleton. Why? The complaint was that these earlier constitutions did not give us a House of Representatives with full parliamentary powers. So when Nigeria was going to attain independence, one of the first things that was agreed at Lancaster House in London was that there would be a House of Representatives that will have full legislative powers to legislate for the good order and good government of Nigeria, peace, order, and good governance of Nigeria. When that was achieved, we knew we were already 90% getting a democratic independence. Every other thing added to that constitution was a bonus, was addition on the basic structure that we will have a House of Representatives elected by the people of Nigeria. And any time the House of Representatives cannot meet, any time that the House of Representatives is not allowed to meet, it means that democracy has ceased to exist. That is why, and that was why, the first action of any coup plotter, the first action of any junta or dictator will be to say the House of Representatives has ceased to exist and they cannot meet again. Because anywhere the House of Representatives will meet, it will mean that the government continues to be in existence. Secondly, in the tradition that we inherited in our journey towards democracy, it was impossible for you to exercise any governmental power or to take any executive authority if you were not first elected to the House of Representatives. Nowadays, we have followed the American system where the executive is separated from the legislature. However, it is still in our constitution that you are qualified to hold any position in government if you are qualified to be elected as a member of the House of Representatives. Therefore, the standard remains that it is difficult for you to call yourself a leader in Nigeria, or to call you a leader or an officer of state, if you are not, by one way or the other, qualified to be a member of the House of Representatives. So this gathering is a very important gathering, because if we are to deepen democracy, we must build institutions. And to build institutions, you must have institutional memory. And the people who are here today are standing in the tradition of building the institutional memory for Nigeria legislative history. And I will tell you that people have given several definitions of democracy. And I would not want to spend your time to be too academic about the question of democracy. But I will say that in simple algorithm, any system that allows people to freely and fairly elect their representative, and for this representative to use laws to govern them and manage their affairs and be accountable back to the people who elected them in the first place, has passed every test of democracy. Therefore, my first submission will be that if we are looking for democracy in Nigeria, we should begin our search from the House of Representatives. I know there are a few senators here, and they will say, why would you say that? Why would you say we should start our search from the lower house, as it's called? Though in our constitution, there's no lower house. The concept of lower house and upper house is only limited to England. However, why would you say we should begin our search from the House of Representatives? Because the House of Representatives is not only representative by name, it is also representative by demography. Because every state, however big or small, no matter the population, high or low, has the same number of senators. But House of Representatives reflects the entire population of the country and is almost supposed to be mathematically equal to the other. Therefore, when you have 360 members of the House of Representatives, each one is representing 1/360 of the country. And if a majority of them agree on any issue, after consulting their constituencies, it means that the nation has spoken. So, now, what do we do with democracy? There are those who argue that democracy is good all in itself, that democracy is an end, that if a country is democratic and that democracy is pure, that in itself is an achievement. However, the utilitarian benefit of democracy is more important than democracy as a concept. Why? Because democracy is a tool for 5 basic things. Democracy ensures that everybody is a stakeholder. Democracy does not discriminate. A Nobel Peace Prize winner, a genius, a professor, and an ordinary peasant, farmer, or fisherman, each one has 1 vote. Democracy recognizes that everyone is a stakeholder. So everyone who is under a democracy can say, I am governing myself. Second benefit or feature of democracy is that democracy allows for dialogue. Because for you to get majority to agree to a measure or majority to oppose a measure, you need to talk. You need to say, I agree with this notion, I do not agree with that notion. For that reason, you ensure that you have dialogue. And this dialogue brings understanding. Because when people talk about things, they may start with disagreement. I don't agree. I will never do it. It will not happen here. But in the course of the conversation, you receive information from the other side, and you may end up with an agreement or a compromise. Sometimes you can start with agreement, but when the detail of the conversation comes up, you realize, oh, this is not in my interest. And for that reason, you will go and say, I am not agreeing anymore. So it brings dialogue. The third element of democracy is that it brings ability to discover talents. Because in the course of negotiation, disagreements, interaction, we start to see the qualities of one another. Not only the rightness, logic, persuasiveness of your point, but I see the qualities that are inherent in you. And when you see the qualities that are inherent in you, then I say this person has a leadership quality. That is why in a democracy, leaders are hardly hard to find. If you look at other systems like monarchy, oligarchy, dictatorship, leaders only come by accident. Because if it's a monarchy, you have to be born into the ruling house, and all the talents you will have to come from that family. From oligarchy, it has to be a few people. And in the end, democracy will give you the best pool of talents. The fourth benefit of democracy is that it brings agreement. People know that I participated in this exercise, though my own idea is not taken, but I was part of it. In the end, we agree to the rule. Majority will have their ways, and minority will have their say. Lastly, the importance of democracy is that it brings finality to issues. If we debate an issue for a long time, as they say in the House of Representatives, you put the question. When you put the question, whoever has it, whether it's nay or yea, that's it. I've only used 10% of my time. I have 50 minutes, and I'm just done 15 minutes. I have a clock here. So just be patient with me. That's why I said at the beginning, just give me 15 minutes and I will finish, because it's an important topic. I need to do justice to it. I was given 50 minutes, I'm using only 30. The second thing I will say is that we are asked to build a nation with our democracy. Our democracy is not like the democracy of advanced countries, where the nation is already built, and you are using democracy to maintain it day to day. In Nigeria, our democracy is a building block. As at the time we got independence, as at the time we had our own House of Representatives, we had not become a nation. It is through this politics, through this democracy, that we are going to build a nation. And I will conclude by saying, how do you build a nation? You build a nation based on principle: justice, liberty, fairness, rule of law, and merit. If we agree, then the laws being made in the House of Representatives and the Senate and the other houses of assembly will be laws that are meant to facilitate these principles upon which we build our nation. And I will recommend to you that the Constitution that established the House of Representatives for us also created the fundamental objectives and directive principle of state policy contained in Chapter 2 of the Constitution. And that chapter says that the National Assembly will not make any laws that are contrary to Chapter 2 of the Constitution. And what does he say? He says that will be an egalitarian society, will be a society that will be evenly distributing opportunities, and it will be a society that is based on rule of law, and that will do social investment and will leave nobody in poverty. Today, how far have we traveled? We all agree that we are not where we are supposed to be. This assembly is now called upon to continue a dialogue. We should do 5 things for us. 1, the dialogue will be that no matter the fault of our democracy, we must continue to use civil rule and democracy to pursue our national agenda. We should not use any other means to govern ourselves. Second, that we must build institutions. And the first institution to build for Nigeria is that we must rehabilitate the political class. If it does not worry the members here, it worries Nigerians that there is no credible political class anymore. We must rehabilitate the political class so that the people of Nigeria can believe in their leaders. When you go somewhere and say, I am a politician, people should be happy to talk to you. They should respect what you do, the way they respect their doctors, respect their engineers, respect their judges, respect people who are sacrificing themselves. The highest art of statehood is politics. Nigerian politicians must not be content to hear people say, politicians have no principles. Politicians are not good. No country that is stable that does not have a well-respected political class. Then after that, we build these basic institutions. 1, you must have a strong and resilient armed forces, because the territorial integrity of Nigeria is under challenge. And we must have a strong army that is committed to civil rule, strong navy, strong air force, strong police force, strong security services, so that map will be a real map. We will not be sharing sovereignty with bandits, terrorists, and outside players. Second, we must build a strong civil service, because the laws that we make, the measures that we take, are to be run by the civil servants. The civil servants are very important, and a strong civil service we must build. Thirdly, we must bring a strong judiciary that is apolitical, that is impartial, that is incorruptible, so that when we disagree and politics cannot resolve those disagreements, we use law to resolve them in a clean and sane and logical judiciary. Lastly, we must build industries, because everybody cannot be in politics. Politics is a special calling for those who are talented. It's not a means of livelihood. So we must build industry so that only those who have talent for politics will join politics, because the rest will have been satisfied with full-time employment, with a career in business, and they won't be forced to join politics because they want to make a living. We need to make sure that the civil space is open, so that every Nigerian will know that I can live, earn 3 square meal, live well without forcing myself to be involved in politics. So in conclusion, I must congratulate you for this reunion, and I believe it's the beginning of the conversation. And after now, we'll reach out to every member here. I thank you for your services to the country, and I pray to God Almighty to spare Nigeria. God bless Nigeria, and God bless the House of Representatives. Thank you very much.
Again, thank you so very much. Our Prince, Barrister Adewale Adebayo, SDP Presidential Candidate 2023, and moving forward. We're taking the last paper down. and it's something that I would please ask that we all sit and listen. Is centering sustainable security for national development. I'd like to invite AIG Bennett C. Igwe, PSC MNI, Assistant Inspector General Police, Zone 7 Headquarters, Conakry Close, here in Abuja. Can we please welcome our AIG, who is also MNI.
No, I'm just... Good afternoon. Good afternoon, distinguished Good afternoon, distinguished honorable members of the House of Reps. I am standing here I am happy for what is happening. I learned you are coming up for the first time. The reunion is for the first time. We can appreciate the rowdiness. Everybody is happy to see each other. Good day all. Today is a special day as we gather here for the purpose of this event, rebuilding the foundation of democracy, learning from the past and shaping resilient future. I am honored to be in your midst today, especially a gathering of this type of men and women who have contributed their quota in shaping our recent democracy. I am well elected to speak on the topic centered on security for national development. Indeed, this topic is very apt and well articulated because we cannot achieve national development without sustainable security across all facets of our national life. I also welcome all distinguished guests and speakers to Abuja. Those who come from different parts of Nigeria, you are welcome to Abuja. I want to inform you and tell you that on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Ebotoku, PAG MPM, you are safe in Nigeria and you are safer as you are in Abuja. Welcome, 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 welcome. I also want to speak on this topic. Relationship due to the high rise of few banditries in Nigeria and so on and so forth. It involves integrating social, economic, and environmental dimensions for a holistic approach. These three dimensions aforementioned are almost like the three tiers of government. Each has specific role and control to play. It undertakes in the development of nation because without the social approach, we want to be able to communicate to the people the ideas that are being put together to help stabilize the nation. Sustainable security is the concept that brings about the idea of a nation's security. It is not only justified by its security paradigm, defense capability, but ensuring long-term prosperity, environmental sustainability, social stability, and human rights. The sole goal is to prioritize the protection of human welfare, creating security model that in a way is resilient, equitable, and sustains a nation's development over time. There are measures of centering sustainable security that can drive national development. Number one is environmental security and resource management. Number two, human security and social stability. Number three, economic security, diversified means of income that line on one instead of relying on one sector of the economy. Number four is regional cooperation and global partnership. Number five, sustainability in security practices. We have the kinetic and non-kinetic security practices in Nigeria. And each one, like the last speaker said, means a lot for our country. In Abuja, for example, as the immediate past Commissioner of Police of FCT, we were able to contain banditry, kidnappings, armed robberies, and several other crimes because of what we have put in place. I want to inform honorable members, I want to go straight to inform you about your human security and the community security. In the approach to your personal security, in your approach to your personal security, it is important you listen to yourself on who you may want to employ as your driver, as your cook, as your steward, as your gardener, as well as other incidental workers in your house. Many of you like to employ them from sentiments, but I want to advise you, in your own interest, in your own personal security, it is important you check out who you want to employ. Do a checkout on the person, especially your driver. Many of them are sources of kidnapping, especially your cooks, especially your gardeners. They are agents and sources of kidnappings in your homes. They are sources of robbers. You may not know, but when you do a checkout on who you want to employ to be your personal gate man, to be your wife driver, to be your children's driver, you are taking much into the security of that your family. It's good you do a checkout on them before you employ them. They are very, very important. Further, as you are a driver, some of you like to drive yourselves. As you are driving yourselves and you are on the road, as soon as you set out on the road, the first thing you are going to do for your security as the driver is to make sure you are watching your mirror. The mirror in your front and that one by your side. As you are watching You will be checking if there is any vehicle following you. With your mirror, you will be checking. And if you suspect any vehicle is following you, quickly move to a road that is not where you are going. And if that vehicle continues to follow you as you enter the road that is not where you are going, I don't need to tell you that that vehicle is looking for you. The next what you are going to do, assuming you are going to your house and you suspect that that vehicle is following you, one of the things you have to do is to drive past your house. When you drive past your house, they will equally pass. Go somewhere else. 5 minutes, you come back. You will not see them again. Or you drive straight to a police checkpoint or police station or military checkpoint, any of the either, and park there. When you park there, you will see the zoom off. It is for your personal security. Another one is, as you are moving, any day you are 1 or 2 posts close to your house, you will continue to check if there is any vehicle parked, whether it is a Camry or any other vehicle, parked close to your house. The first thing you are going to do is to check whether somebody is inside before you pass. And if somebody is inside before you pass, you may see somebody else who is standing somewhere. He is facing the bush, pretending as if to say he is answering call. He is not looking at you, he is facing bush, pretending as if answering call. If you make a mistake and your house is there, I don't need to tell you that they are waiting for you to carry you. Because once you move to your gate, as you want to horn to enter the gate, they will barricade you. And it either becomes robbery or kidnap. But when you notice such people towards your house, 1 or 2 posts to your house, as you are moving, drive past your house. When you drive past your house, go somewhere else to give yourself 5 or 10 minutes. As you come back, you will not see them again. I don't need to tell you that you'll be security conscious. You are for your own personal reasons. Number 3 is that some of you are rich enough to have built duplexes and you are living upstairs. Please, before you go into sleep, inform your wife or yourself, go down by yourself, lock the kitchen door very properly. The kitchen door, lock it very properly. You can even lock it and take the key upstairs. You are still worthy. Your house girl or your house boy can be inside. Lock all of them. Take the key upstairs. If they want to go out, they should call you. You should know. Because most of them are agents. It is them that invite people who comes to rob in your house. You don't know from where they're coming from because you did not do a checkout on them. So it's the kitchen door that they always leave open for the robbers. And once the robbers come, from the window in the kitchen, they will put hand and open the kitchen and they enter and rob everybody. Tomorrow or next tomorrow, they will go and collect their own part of what they have robbed from their masters. Sorry, I'm telling you all this. It's for your personal security. For your community security. I don't need to tell you that you have to be able to organize your community, your people, the young men, for them to start forming vigilante groups. And the vigilante groups are now working very well. Nurture them for them to form vigilant groups because they are part and parcel of community policing. Be part and parcel of it. Don't think it is not for you. Don't think they are not important. They are very important for your security anytime you are in your community. No matter what you have as money, attach them something in case you have it in your community. Don't ignore them. If you ignore them, you are ignoring them to your peril. Your enemies are coming, they will assist them, and they will say you are stingy. So, whatever you have, as soon as you are in the community, give them something. Support it and for them to grow, because they are part and parcel of community policing and part and parcel of your security. If your community is well and every other community is well, Nigeria will be well and your state will be well. On the last note, I was in the forum of former deputy governors last month at the Sheraton, Ladequali Hall in the Sheraton Hotel. Former deputy governors forum. I spoke to them. And there was argument. The forum of former deputy governors said that they are the first group to have produced the president of Nigeria in the person of Goodluck Jonathan. One of them there came up and corrected them and said no. It was the forum of governors that we are first to produce, and that is in the person of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. I want to ask, the other senator came up and said that the senators have equally produced a president in the person of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want to ask, talk to yourselves. God bless you.
Thank you so very much, AIG. At this moment, right honorables here present, members of the House, former, okay. We are going to be embarking on lunch as well as question and answers. Our resource persons should be ready to answer questions. Please, when you come up to ask your question, just go straight to it. Let's don't have another lecture. So, while lunch is served and we continue to eat, then we'll also have questions and answers. Questions and answers, please. The floor is open. If you want any clarification on any of the topics we've done on health, we've done on democracy and leadership, we also have heard on sustainable security for national development. So please, any questions, clarifications, the floor is open while lunch is served. Again, I'd like to remind some of our invited guests. At some point, we will have to vacate the hall for only members or former members of House of Representatives that are here. There's going to be networking amongst them. Some of them haven't seen themselves for close to 10, 20 years. So we'll vacate the room for them to network and go ahead with the discussion of the day. So please, may I ask that we quickly serve our guests, that is, non-members of the House of Representatives. Question and answer time. If you have any questions, if you have clarifications you want to make, inquiries that you need to know from members, from our resource persons, the time is now. Thank you.
Do I go ahead? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My name is Ismail Idris Garba, second member of the House of Representatives, Kano State. I will first of all thank the organizers of this forum, and I have to give them a heavy laud. They have done a very, very unforgettable event. My question here is, where are we upon all these years? Where are we upon all these years with the type of people we have in this country? We refuse to come in and show light on what is happening in this great nation, Nigeria. Where are we? We know all what had happened, and we know all the castigation made on us by the previous greedy leaders who are being sponsored by the foreign nations to come and steal, destroyed our culture and the economy and the resource. So my question is, we have to wake up, we have to organize ourselves, because a lot of what has been said, that once you hold that this office, you are forever, anytime, anywhere, you are a member of the National Assembly, and you have to defend it. If you fail to defend it and you are able to defend it, you are making a mistake. Thank you very much.
I recognize Honorable La.
I observe our protocol, but may I thank our dear majority leader, our sister and leader, for bringing us together. I see our former speakers, principal officers, my dear colleagues. Mine is a comment addressed to the person that delivered the main lecture, which was Rebuilding the Foundation of Democracy, Learning from the Past and Shaping a Resilient Future. I want to point out the role, commend him for the paper. But first of all, I must point out the role that the judiciary plays in maintaining democracy. Without an impartial, just judiciary, we will not have a lasting democracy. In fact, we cannot have a democracy. The practice in Nigeria today, as we all know, is that judges are manipulated and the losers become the winners and the winners become the losers. It depends on what the judges choose to do. But most of the time, you find public lectures addressing politicians, not addressing the judiciary. Even we, the so-called political class, we're afraid to talk to the judiciary. I think we must shift our focus to the judiciary, because the judiciary are not playing their role. You all know what happened in my state, Plateau State, and I'm a victim. 24 of us, as I speak to you, it's been 1 year. We won our elections solidly well, we were serving, and from nowhere the judiciary moved everybody, 24 people from my state, even though we won our election, which the Supreme Court reversed and said this should have never been the case. But because our cases and our matters stopped at the Court of Appeal, were not able to get to the Supreme Court, it affected 24. Now, it wasn't just my state, it happened In several other states where about 2 persons, 3 persons were removed on pre-election matters. What are we supposed to do to check the judiciary? We wrote the NJC and the NJC did nothing about it. In fact, they dismissed our petition. They didn't even sit on it. So who is going to check the judiciary? Should we go back to the Constitution and put in something? Should the National Assembly go back to the Constitution and put in some checks and balances on the judiciary to do, they dispense justice in elections? Or should we continue like this? That is my question number one. Then I want to commend the AIG. I really want to commend him for giving us practical tips on how to keep ourselves safe. Unfortunately, I am just told that one of us has been kidnapped. I don't know if you are aware. I'm just being told now that yesterday, one of us, Judge Daika, Honorable Judge Daika, Right Honorable, has just been kidnapped yesterday. He was on his way to this program. Yes, he was kidnapped in Andaha on our way. He was driving here for this program. So I would like us to pray for him sometime during this program, both Christian and Muslim prayers, so that Almighty God, Almighty Allah will deliver him from the hand of the kidnappers. Thank you very much. God bless us all.
Thank you, Honorable. Any reaction to what she has? Yes? Okay. Any more comments? Any more comments, please?
Thank you. My name is Honorable Engineer Nachi Agu of the 4th Assembly from Ebonyi State. My contribution are, number one, I wouldn't know how today's meeting or reunion came about. But my fear is that we should have a sustainable plan to keep this very important political class active as far as national affairs are concerned. Whether we can think of a sustainable budget plan to fund activities of this group, whether through the budget of the House of Representatives or under any other budget, so that from time to time we can gather like this and then share our ideas together and then come up with suggestions that can help move our political development forward. That is number one. Number two is, I don't know the means. Information was passed across to our members, whether there was a form of advertisement in the media, print media, social media, or electronic media, because many people were not aware of today's meeting up till this morning, my humble self inclusive. I will advise and suggest that we broaden the invitation, awareness creation, so that many more people can be brought on board, because we all have something to contribute in our own little ways to make Nigeria a better and a greater place. So I hope some of these points can be noted, and then we'll look for solutions or suggestions on how we can move this association to a loftier height. Thank you, and God bless you.
Next person, please, and we are rounding up now.
Good afternoon, honorable members. I'm a member of the Third Republic Federal House of Representatives. I must first of all thank the organizers of this occasion. Exceptional one. Exceptional in the sense that it has brought together some generations of House members who, without this meeting, would not have in any way met again. The focus of the meeting in itself also is essential. It's essential that we, as the bedrock of democracy, must always strive from whenever, whether presidential election, whether House of Rep, whether Senate, to show participation, and strongly too, because it's the way we unite ourselves that we can be able to foster the unity that this country is greatly needed. Also, we have 2027 looking around. I know that we will be looked at. I know also that if we are united, we will be able to achieve a great deal. So I will thank them, and I will request them to continue to invite us for this kind of meeting. Because when we are here, we will be able to take a decision that will benefit the nation and also our members. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think I'll leave you now to enjoy your lunch. Thereafter, we'll be back. We'll give some 10 more minutes for lunch. Then we would close up this first session. Okay, I can see, is that hand up?
Yeah.
Because there'll be time for networking amongst members.
I have the microphone. Should I go on?
Right.
Okay.
Last one, please.
Yes, thank you.
You're recognized. Last.
Thank you very much. My name is Honorable Herman Himbe. I'm a former member of the House of Representatives. I'm from Benue. I give much respect to my colleagues from the 79 set. I was 4 years old when you were in the House of Reps. I also commend those of the 83 set and the 92 set. I was in the House between 2007 and 2023. I want to commend the former leader of the House, Mulika Akanda Adeola, for organizing this beautiful and wonderful event that has availed us the opportunity to sit together. My Oga, Honorable Farouk Lawal, I greet you, sir. Opportunity to meet with ourselves and interact. I also commend the CP Abuja for suggesting, and rightly too, that the governors have had it, the deputy governors have had it, the senators have had it, and it is only right that the members of House of Representatives should also have it. On the strength of that, I want to second that wonderful motion of his. But I want to add that it's not going to be very easy. But I know that for it to happen, Atiku will make it happen after his presidency. Thank you very much.
you so much. Okay. Thank you very much.
We thank you so much. We'll have close to 10 minutes now so that people can finish up on their lunch and the next line of action will be announced. of today's event, former Majority Leader, House of Representatives, Honorable Mulika Atakode Adiola, will now move the vote of thanks and also speak to next steps. Honorable.
Honorable members, please, can we all sit down, please? We're going into another session, and it's very important. Can we all sit down? Can we all sit down? Can we all sit down, please? Please. I'm going to find anybody that I find standing, and I will call your names. Please sit down. Please sit down. Kogi State and Plateau at the back. Kogi and Plateau conversing at the back. Please sit down. It doesn't matter what we're saying. Okay. First, the vote of thanks. I want to thank Almighty God for giving us today, and also allowing all of us to be present here today. I want to thank all of you for coming. Your presence has shown that there is a need for a forum, you know, for the former members of the House of Representatives. I can see the excitement on most of us when we see our long-lost colleagues. And we need to do this more. We need to take it to another level. And that's what we're going to talk about as soon as we finish this vote of thanks. So please don't go, because the media, our guests, they will excuse us. I want to thank our speakers, the three speakers, Dr. Susanna Adams, Prince Adewale Adebayo, and AIG Igwe. He has already left. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sorry that it was a rowdy session, but this is what you see in the parliament when, you know, there's excitement or there's something to argue about. But we have listened. A lot of people have picked so much from your papers, and they've been, you know, asking me one or two questions. So thank you very much. May God bless you. Honorable members, I thank you all. Those who came from far and near, thank you very much for coming. But after this session, we will now, you know, go into another session where we'll talk about taking this forum forward. On that note, I thank all of you. I thank our development partners for coming. I thank the media, and I thank Auntie Moji, our MC. She has always been there for me. So thank you very much. May Allah take you back to your homes safely. Thank you.
Yes. Can we have volunteers for closing prayer?
Honorable Itula, can you come and say the closing prayer? Since your cross is very prominent.
Thank you, madam. Nice meeting you in person today. Can we pray? Please. Can we pray? We end this session in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Eternal King of Glory, we thank you for this gathering of your children. We want to thank you for the success that we have attained this far. We want to thank you for the various speakers and all those who have contributed to make this occasion a very successful one. It is our prayer, so Lord, that this gathering will be continuous. It will not be one that is just called and then that's the end of it. Let us be able to achieve something meaningful from it. This, the forgiveness of sins and all other blessings we ask of you through Jesus Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Do we have an Islamic scholar? Yes, please. Can you move this?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أتاي الله زكي الله تبارك صلوات الله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله صلوا على النبي الكريم.
Thank you very much. Invited guests should please take leave. Thank you very much. Yes, the former president of NUJ, thank you also for attending. God bless you. Thank you all. God bless you. All the invited guests, except, of course, if you have been at some point elected as member of the House of Representatives, thank you for coming. God bless you.
Sit down. We're going to call on our leaders to guide us on what we will do next after today. Or do you just want us to go and that's the end of it? So please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. Sit down. I want to call on Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha to come and advise us on way forward. I will say. Thank you. I'm going to hand over to our former speaker, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara. He is going to direct this second session. So please sit down. At least if you don't listen to former leader, you listen to former. So please sit down. Sit down.
Distinguished honorable members, my leaders, honorable members, I think if we pay attention, we can be out of here in a jiffy. This private session, I won't call it executive session. It's not executive session. Please cancel that with red pen. It's a private session. Because I know what members will say if you call it executive session. So, it's a private session. So I think we want to have feelers as to what should be done going forward. Because you see, the beauty is in coming like this, the interface we've had, bringing ourselves together, is about what we can do together. And I guarantee that if we form a very solid movement, it will inure the benefit of each and every one of us. It is because we are scattered that we have lost respect. By the time we come together, it will benefit almost all of us. So we will take feelers from the floor as to how do we organize ourselves going forward. And how many times in a year, for instance, should we hold this kind of a meeting? Please, if you are not an honorable member, could you please leave? Those that are, I wish they can carry the food outside. Those that are not members, please. It's a private session, so journalists, we don't need me for now. You can come back later. Yes. So from the floor, do we have any extra mic? Otherwise, I can surrender my...
No, his own mic is not working.